Hello and welcome back to Uro Uro Niwa. My name is Mike Charlton. Last time, Adel, also known as Sarah, and Tess and Osang were relaxing in the drinking mound, and we took the opportunity to learn something about Tess's background. So today we're going to carry on with the adventure. Now, the one thing that I've been worried about the entire time is that Tess and Sarah, and Bomeric as well, Osang, do not have really any armor, and Osan doesn't even have a weapon. So I think we might see if we can move out of the drinking mount. There we go. The one thing I want to do is just check on the time, actually. Just put me into fast travel mode. So capital T put me into fast travel mode. And in fact, actually last time, and D stops. Last time I went into fast travel mode and I didn't tell you how to do it, so it's actually capital T. And I think it's, small t, no, that's how you throw things. I always forget how to do this. Capital W tells you the weather. The sky above us is uniform and dark grey. The sun is in the western sky behind the clouds, and there's a cool breeze blowing from the east. So this means it's in the afternoon, and I think that's actually all we can tell from this. We're going to have to spend the night here we're in Furnace Tapered, and as you remembered, we actually started from, I'm just going to move the cursor here, we started from Knowing Constructs, and we came pretty much this way, or I suppose we started Knowing Constructs, went here, then went up through this forest, and then back through here, so we avoided those mountains there. Our next destination is Fence Relief. And we're going to visit Fence Relief because I want to see if I can get some paper there. I have reason to believe that there's a library there somewhere. And then finally, of course, our destination, which is Pulley Rooters. Let's wander over to Led Tailwhips. He was the military commander. There's a few people in here, and I'm just actually gonna make my way into the middle of the room for no good reason. And the farmer greeted us. He said his name is Atir Bellsblade, so we might as well respond to that. Let's reply to the greeting. There are some other options here as well. So you can bypass the greeting, and that just takes you to the normal menu. Refuse conversation, which is if we just don't want to talk to anybody. And we can also reply by greeting and impersonating a god. I've never actually done this before. It might be quite a fun adventure. You can actually travel around pretending to be a god. So I'm just going to reply to the greeting. I'm Adel Sarah Bannerhushed. Praise be the flickering sun. Don't travel alone at night, or the boogeyman will get you. And if you remember, earlier I suggested that we shouldn't travel alone at night, and that's because the boogeyman will get you. And this is actually serious. Like I said, if you want to experience that, I highly recommend you try it. You won't last very long. All right. Let's quickly talk with this person. I'm not sure why he greeted us. Let's just ask about the listener's family. I'm curious. So he has no family to speak of. And this is a good indication that he was just a statistic until he called out to us and suddenly got a name. I also noticed that Led Tailwhip said it is terrifying. And usually they say that if someone has said something else. So I'm just going to quickly, if you press A, it will look back in the history. Because I don't always read everything that everyone says. So here we go. The militia commander led Aston Bomeric, which is Tailwhip. Particular outlaws have been causing us much hardship. They have a hamlet called Bend Mines somewhere in the abated steppes. The farmer apparently earlier had gotten into an argument with Led Tailwhip, and it makes him very bitter. I'm just going to say goodbye to the farmer because I don't think he probably has anything that we want. I actually want to look at both the ranger. I'm just going to look here to see what he actually has, because we might be able to trade if he has something that is useful to us. But the ranger does not have any weapons. Let's have a look at Led Tailwhip to see if he has any weapons or anything we can trade for. And Led Tailwhip, he has some leather armor or like leather gloves and things like that, but probably not that useful. So nobody has anything that we want, so I think we'll just probably leave, in fact, and we can, in our ongoing conversation with the farmer, we can just say goodbye. And apparently Led Tailwhip is terrified by something, but I'm not quite sure what he's terrified by. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back into fast travel mode with capital T, because it's a little bit easier to navigate. And you can see we're right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over to the white O there. Takes a few seconds to get going. And the white O is the civic mound, and then it's possible that there will be somebody there who will have something that we want. I just went to the east because I had stopped intentionally to the west, so I know which way to go. And there you can see all these exclamation marks here. That's the civic mound in there, that's where all the people are. And then you can see this kind of outline here with this kind of characteristic up ramps all around it. And that shows you where the mound is. So we're going to have to find, it looks like this mound actually has an entrance on the top here with the cent sign. So we'll go inside. Let's see what we have in here. It looks like there's no military personnel in here, but we'll see. So there's a diagnoser, he's a doctor. There's a farmer. There is a fish cleaner, a miner, a farmer. There's the Baron Consort of Lancer Chasms. Interesting. There's the clear-voiced herbalist. There's a frail farmer. And a weaver. So there's nobody here who's going to have anything likely that we want. The Baron Consort might. If you have a Baron or Baroness, their spouse is the consort. The broad-nosed Baron Consort of Lancer Chasms, to the frail farmer, I have been praying to Kuruk the willful influence. Interesting. So let's have. I want to have a look at see if they're actually carrying anything that is of use to us, and I don't see anything useful, but I'm going to quickly chat with the Baron Consort anyway. Let's greet the listener. So the Baron Consort of Lancer Chasms whose name is Luller Babsazir. Hello, I'm Luller Petbridge. Praise be Kuruk the willful influence. We have a bit of a difference in religion. I just noticed as well, the sunken-eyed weaver has become enraged. I don't really know why he's become enraged. He was just standing there. So actually, I'm just going to quickly ask him what's going on. So let's go here. And I'm going to bypass the greeting because I just want to quickly ask him how he's feeling. Because I don't understand why he's enraged. It was raining on him. It was annoying. He's coming this way. I'm wondering if this is going to end up being dangerous. I wonder why he's upset. Let's express our emotions. We're sharing our feelings, and we have had lots of good things to say. We can also maybe commiserate with him on the rain situation. We had great annoyance as well, being caught in the rain. So maybe that commiseration will be enough to mollify him. The Baron Consort says it is terrifying. The Sunken Eyes Weaver attacks the Sunken Eyes Diagnoser, but she jumps away. So I said, I was out in the rain too. It was annoying. For some reason they're fighting. I think they're in the middle of a conversation because the Sunken Eye Weavers said, you shouldn't get too carried away with romance, but it's fine in moderation. And I think probably he was in the middle of a conversation on this topic and was upset by it. But the Diagnoser has actually scratched him in the left hand from behind, tearing the fat and bruising the muscle through the durian leather mitten. And you'll see that there's X's beside it. That X means that it's been degraded. So basically he's damaged that left mitten by scratching it. So the force pulls the left wrist, tearing apart the muscle and tearing apart the muscle. Let's continue our conversation with the Weaver. And do you know what? I'm not really in the mood to provoke him very much, so I think we should just agree with him completely, or possibly we can flatter him. But I think I'll just agree completely. Yes, so true, so true. And now they're still fighting. The Sunken Eye Weaver misses the Sunken Eye Diagnoser, and then he gets punched again. So I think what I'm going to do is I might just suggest to the Weaver that he asking them to yield is a little bit more forceful, I think, than what we want. It's a little bit hard to know exactly what these things mean, and you have to play the game a bit to get a feeling for how these interactions work. And it's not obvious from the results, which is one of the the worst parts about Dwarf Fortress actually is sometimes you have all these options and you do them and nothing seems to happen, and you're not sure if it's because it's not hooked up yet or it's just that the effect is so subtle that you haven't noticed what happened. And so you have to try something maybe 100 times before you can find out if it actually does anything at all. I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to suggest to him it's a good idea that he back down from his fight. Let's see what happens. No, he said he won't yield. Well, I'm a bit interested to see what's going to happen in this fight. You'll notice that the Diagnoser now has a blue mark on him. The Baron Consort is saying it's terrifying. And yeah, it's quite strange. So I wonder if we now look at the Diagnoser. I don't know why he appears to be... his right upper arm is bruised. Let's just wait one more turn and see what happens. Just now I attacked me. Well, actually, the Frail Farmer did not attack himself. This seems to be a bug. We saw that earlier with the goblins attacking each other, and they say that they attacked themselves, but in fact the Frail Farmer was not involved in this dispute at all. And I think he's got himself confused with the other two participants of this fight. So let's just see what happens. I'm just going to quickly go through it. The Sunken-Eyed Weaver kicks the Diagnoser in the lower right arm, bruising the bone. The Force twists the right elbow, tearing apart the muzzle and bruising the bone. A ligament has been torn, a tendon has been torn. This is getting quite violent. The Sunken-Eyed Diagnoser falls over. The Baron Consort has decided maybe it's better to change the topic. A great beast threatens to bring ruin upon our people. Queen Rocks is in the Hill of Confidence. Seek this place if you hunt Der Search Sculpted, the large Call of Saviors, the Bronze Colossus. And we'd heard about that before. This is the one who had killed 84 in its lust for murder. Among them, 5 of his cousins and his aunt. So yeah, I can understand why he wants something done about that, but we're not going to do it because it's going to be too difficult. So the Frail Farmer thinks this is terrifying. He is also deluded into thinking he's been attacking himself when he has not. Now, it looks like this fight may be over. The Clearvoice Herbalist encountered a fascinating conundrum recently. So I think this fight is now over. So I'm not quite sure what led to it, but it seems to have been a romantic dispute. But anyway, let's continue talking with the Baron Consort, because I was just going to ask about the listener's family. And I have a cousin named English Mirrored Creeds. So I have an uncle named Godin Esteem Cloisters. And in 57, Godin struck down the winged woman bridegroom, Ellie Dive Droplets, in the routed jungle. And he has a nephew. Again, we're not getting much clue about where he's from. He has a niece, had a younger sister, and she became the Lady of the Fellowship of Fights. If we were to pull up Legends mode, we can actually look this up. Let me do that quickly. Okay, we'll just look into civilization and other entities, and then we search for Fellowship of Fights. And it's a human group from the Universes of Destiny. That's interesting, because he seems to be a dwarf. And they're from the realm of creating. So it appears as though... And you can see here, in 71, the dwarf Erdim Bustfloors became the Lady of the Fellowship of Fights. These are dwarves from the human civilization. It's tempting to run Dwarf Fortress twice, and to have Legends mode always open in the other window, but unfortunately that can cause crashes. It's better not to do that. If you want to kind of dive into Legends mode, it's better just to save your game, go into Legends mode, look up what you want to look up, and then come back. Now, the downside of that is you need to remember what it is that you were looking at. This is not the person. It seems that there was another dwarf after that as well, I think, which was in the 70 something. So he's quite old as well. Obviously, he has a younger sister who became the Lady of the Fellowship of Fights in 58, so he's quite elderly. And he's not from here, actually, which is interesting. So if we actually go here and ask him, for instance, about the surrounding area, he won't be able to tell us. Oh, he is. So he lives here, but his sister is in the human civilization. Now, that can happen. There are a few ways that that can happen. One way it can happen is if you have a dwarf that begins to study under a master in another civilization. They get citizenship of that civilization. So it seems that this Baron Consort is actually from the Exalted Shield, but his sister is, or was, a lady in the realm of creating, which is very interesting. And we also learned here that Viper Forded is in the Fortuitous Forest, which actually is where we are. You can see here that unfortunately this focused is in the way, but you can see we're in the Fortuitous Forest. And Viper Forded is in there. In 72, the Carmine Eagles of the Coast of Forever founded Viper Forded. And so this is, the Coast of Forever is the other elven civilization. You remember last time we were talking about the Wispy, or the Whiskers of something. I can't remember now. But this is the other one, and this elven civilization is still going very strong. I'm just going to ask about the local ruler. The most Lancer rules Furnace Tapered. We are the right in all matters. So he's actually part of the most Lancer. What we need to do is we can't start now, because if we start now we're going to end up traveling at night, which is dangerous. So what we're going to do is we're going to sleep here in the Civic Mound, and then we'll make our way to Fence Relief. So, but before we can do that, we actually have to ask for permission. And so I'm going to talk to the Baron Consort. We don't want to join in an insurrection here, so we're going to change the subject. We're just going to ask permission to stay for the day. The Baron Consort says, certainly, it would be terrible to leave someone to fend for themselves after sunset. I think everybody always says that. They always let you stay if you want. This guy's still enraged, so I think they're probably going to continue fighting all night, which is a bit worrying. I think we'll just try and get some sleep. To do that, it's but before we do, I want to have a drink of water, because it's usually a good idea to have a drink of water before you go to bed. It's E for eat, and then we're going to see B to get some water, and so we drink some water. So yeah, they're still fighting. So I'm also going to eat, let's eat some of that black bullhead, and then let's try and get some sleep, and hopefully they'll stop fighting. We want to sleep until dawn, but unfortunately we can't see the dawn from here because we're underground, so we're going to have to wait for a certain number of hours. And it wasn't quite dusk when we went to bed, so I think we're going to probably, I'm just going to press plus to maybe wait for 10 hours, and then I press S to sleep instead of W to wait. And so now we want to sleep for 10 hours, and we'll say confirm. This will actually probably stop the fight as well, because while you're sleeping they probably won't continue fighting. If we'd stayed up, we could have seen the conclusion of the fight. They might have killed each other, which would have been terrible. So. All right, and now you can see everyone's sleeping. You can see all the Zeds from everybody. They're all sleeping. And I'm just curious about the diagnosis. I think this is a diagnoser if we look at him. So it looks like he has healed his injuries. Now the other thing you'll notice here at the bottom, it says I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. The brown means that you're only a little bit hungry, and the blue means you're quite thirsty. And you can only eat or drink 3 times in a certain time period. So it's always better to go for the one that's most urgent, because if you try and eat more, you'll have a problem. So even though you're still thirsty, you can't drink anymore, and it can cause problems. So we're going to try and drink some water, and luckily it's not too cold here, because sometimes your water will freeze. So we'll drink some water, and you can see we're now no longer thirsty. This is one of the reasons I like to drink before going to bed, so we don't have to drink too much when we wake up. And then I'm going to eat. We'll go eat again that black bullhead. We have lots of meat, so you'll notice that we have 4 black bullhead and 8 ibex meat. This should free up some space in my backpack too, so I can put those stupid figurines in my backpack, because we need those for trading. And a couple people look like they have woken up. Let's try and put away those figurines, just in case we need to fight or something. So we'll try and put that in our backpack. Yep. Now that we've made room, there's now more space, so we can put this one into, again, our backpack. The slug man into the backpack. English tool ball we can put into the backpack. The dwarves into... Ah, no, there's no more room left for the dwarves. That's alright. We're still carrying one. I may just to be... Although everybody is... So the X means that they're kind of groggy, I think. If we look at one of these people, like the miner, yeah, they're stunned. He has a steel pick. That pick would make a good weapon, but it's steel, so it might be very expensive. But let's see if we can't buy that pick from him and give it to Old Son. The pick is not the best weapon, but it's definitely better than nothing. So let's give that a try. The other thing, Old Son will get mining experience from fighting if we do that. So I'm there. We're standing next to the miner, which is exactly what we want to be. So what we can do is we can talk to the miner. We'll just greet him. Weaver and the Diagnoser have gone back at it now that they've woken up, and Balmric is alarmed. Unfortunately, the miner has gone back to sleep again. We may just go outside and get some water and come back, and then maybe this fight will have resolved itself as well. So let's do that. It's still quite dark out. Should be alright though, since we're just around in here. So I'm going to walk next to the... This is a brook. And because it's a brook, I can actually stand right in the middle of it, which is convenient. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to use capital I. And capital I is for when you have an item and you want to interact with something. So I will want to interact the water skin with the water. And we're going to fill the ibex water skin with the water below. And then when we have a look, you can see that now it picked up 2 more water. It's a bit weird in that items stack strangely. If you pick up water, now I have 1 water and 2 waters as opposed to 3 waters. This is not so significant in adventure mode, but it can be quite annoying in fortress mode. So we have that. Looks like, I think that's him over here. That's miner. He seems to be currently awake. Yeah. So let's go talk to him. So I'll greet him again. So now he's awake. His name is Melbill Glazerglaze. He's asked us if we're still dancing. The reason he asked us if we're still dancing is because we danced in another mound. And there's rumors that spread. So once people find out about that, they're like, oh, well, you're a dancer. And so he's actually interested to watch us dance. But I think we don't really have time for that right now, so we'll just get to the point. And what I want to do is I want to exchange give or take personal items. So we want his steel pick, because that would be actually quite fantastic if we could get it. So what I do is just press return, and that makes it trade. Now we could demand it, which could cause a fight. But we're not just going to steal stuff from him, we're going to try and just trade for it. And we have this figurine of dwarves, and I think it might just, because it's going to be expensive no matter what we do, I'll try and trade everything that we picked up. I'm not sure that we really need this copper dagger, to be honest, as well. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do, I've got 4 black bullhead, which is probably enough for the moment. The meat that we picked up as well, I may try to trade. So let's try and trade all of that ibex meat. And I think I might try and, let's see if he'll trade for just that, and if not, we'll try and throw in the copper dagger and see what happens. So let's try to trade. No, he wants more. So let's throw in the copper dagger. Trade again. No, he's not happy. I don't think we could trade our shield for it and probably get it, but I'd rather not do that, to be honest. So looks like it's not possible. The problem is because it's a steel pick, it's going to be very expensive, so we'll just escape out of there. So unfortunately we could not acquire that steel pick. Let's make our way. So it's still quite early in the morning. I think we'll kind of risk it. Now I'm going to also, I just press M for map, and because we need to kind of get a bearing of where we want to go. And you'll notice as well that the sun is down, so it's dark. I might actually just capital K for turning on tracks, and it puts on the left hand side just in case we notice some tracks. It also exercises our skill in that area. I wonder if we can walk through these mountains. There apparently is a road somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, it's going to be easier to walk in the forest, so let's just keep in the forest. And you'll notice it's quite dark, so we can't see around us. It's also apparently raining. That's what that flashing grayness is. So those are storm clouds. And now we've made it in the large map, we've made it here. We want to make our way over in that direction. So if it was earlier in the day, I might be tempted to... So I'm just going to the right now. You can't see what I'm doing, so it's quite difficult. Now the dawn is coming. You see at the top that changed. So I go north, go east, 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 and I'm just following these mountains. And then you can see now we've actually reached another brook. This appears to be the road down here. So we could try and make it to that road, but we can't fast travel through the mountains, I think. I would have to walk through the mountains, which might be interesting. But I'm actually going to go over the brook first. I'm not sure if that road is actually going where we're going. It looks to be more efficient for us just to fast travel around in the forest. But I'm curious about the road, so let's go to the road. So I've tried to go down, it won't let me go down because that's the mountain. So we'll have to stop fast traveling. So that's D to stop fast traveling. And what I'm going to do is now just kind of hoof it down here. And again, you should sneak, so capital S, and then S to turn on sneaking. And again, you can see, having done that in fact, there is somebody we can see down here. And it's an eagle. It might be useful for us to get some more bones so that we can trade for equipment, because we do need more equipment. So I'm going to try and actually attack this eagle. This will be a little bit more difficult fight than the ones we've had before, but if we get a good shot in, first off, we might be able to kill it right off the bat. Confirm. Going to strike the eagle. It looks like we have a very square attack to the lower body, and it's an easy strike, so let's do that. And since we're sneaking, it's not aware of us yet, so we don't actually have to go quickly. We can make a heavy attack. And you get some bonuses for attacking from a sneaky position. So we may actually be able to kill the eagle in one hit with this. So let's see what happens. We hacked it in the lower body, and we tore apart the muscle and tore apart the right kidney. An artery has been opened, and the copper battle axe has lodged firmly in the wound. Now this is a bit of a pain, because in order for us to get the copper battle axe out, we have to waste a turn. So I'm just going to move into him rather than using the attack menu, because that will allow us to get the copper battle axe out. But you'll notice as well that the eagle is moving, so we may lose our opportunity here. So I pulled on the copper battle axe, and I've gained possession of the copper battle axe. We don't have our shield on, so I may actually just grab this quickly before he gets out of range. So I'm going to... Oh, we do have our copper shield. Well, I'll still use my right upper arm, I think, and hopefully we can wrestle him. And I think I'm going to grab the upper body, the right upper arm. And again, in this case, you want to press comma, and we've grabbed him. Capital A. And I'm going to wrestle now, and what I want to do is hopefully we can wrestle with the right upper arm, and we can take him down. And by taking him down, we could also throw him as well, but it will move him. The advantage to throwing him is it could stun him. But if we take him down, that might just give us enough time to finish him off. We'll do takedown, and I'm going to then, again, comma. So we take him down. He's small enough that we can wrestle him. We're a dwarf, so we can't really effectively wrestle large creatures, but small creatures we can do pretty well with. We've now taken him down. You'll notice that he's attacking with the fourth toe right foot snatch at. And that's because we have good observation. It told us what he's actually doing. So what we can do is we can block that with our shield. And so we'll block the snatch. Now he's stood up, unfortunately. So I'm going to quickly... He's also recovering now from attacking us. So that gives us a chance to attack. Unfortunately, everything is a difficult or tricky strike. I'm not sure whether it's a better option. I think what I'm going to do again is I'm going to wrestle him again and wrestle with the upper arm, and we're going to take him down again. So we succeeded again. He's now moving west, but he's on the ground, so he's much slower. So we should be able to strike. Now we have a normal strike, square attack normal to the lower body. So we can then grab that. We're going to do a quick attack, which is you, and then we're going to again hack with our copper battle axe. We should be able to get it in before it gets out of the way. So he's managed to stand up now. And again, we can probably, so he's attacking us with bite, so now we can block that. So we have blocked the attack. This is why you want to use this advanced combat system, because it just gives you all of the options to defend yourself. If you were not able to do that, basically the eagle would have injured us several times by now. And the game is not set up so that you heal particularly well. So once you acquire a number of injuries, you often just have to retire your character because you're too injured to continue. So it's very important to think defensively. So again, he's recovering from the bite, so we have an opportunity to strike him, but again, it's too difficult. Now, I do notice though that we have normal strike to the legs. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually try and take off one of his legs, and if he falls over, then we'll be in good shape. So let's see, he's moving to the left, but he's facing us at the moment. So if he's facing us, I can't remember what arm I'm wielding the weapon with, so I'm just going to quit here. You can see that I've got the copper battle axe in the right hand, and he is facing us. We can tell because you can see the cone, this red cone, so he's facing us. So we want to hit him in the left because that matches, right? So we have right arm to his left leg. So again, attack, I'm going to strike F, and we'll just, again, we're going to do a quick attack and hopefully take off that leg if we're lucky. We hacked the skinny eagle in the left upper leg with the copper battle axe. The battle axe has lodged in the wound, but the eagle is given into pain and he's fallen over. So basically we've won. So I need to again move into him to get the battle axe back. I may actually just unwrestle him. So what you want to do is say wrestle with the upper arm and then release the grip. That allows us to dodge again if we need to. And now I'm going to strike. We will strike to the head. And we'll do a heavy attack. But we don't, because I'm have to stop actually. So because I'm doing it in the same turn as my releasing of the grip, so I couldn't use my axe. So now if I do it, the head, and it's a heavy attack, and now we can hack with the copper battle axe. Yeah, and we've taken his head off. Now hopefully, given that he was a skinny eagle, he may not be big enough to butcher, but let's hope that he is actually. And again, I press X to butcher. And in fact, he is big enough to butcher, which is nice. We use our copper battle axe. Now, one thing I was going to show you, first of all, we'll just see what's on the, I press G to get, and you can see there's actually quite a lot of meat there. We probably don't need the meat because we have a lot of food, and we don't even have enough room for our figurines as it is, but we want to make these skinny eagle bone figurines. And one way, it's kind of a pain to keep doing this by hand all the time, and there's a macro system, so you can record a macro, and you do that by pressing Ctrl R. And that starts recording. You can see in the, here it says I'm recording now. And now if I say X and then I go to create and go to the right, go to carve bone, I'm wondering if we make a figurine here with our copper battle axe. And what I want to do is to use the related here, and I'm going to now filter, F filter, I'm going to search for the town of sculpture. There we go. So let's make some figurines of the town of sculpture just for fun. Then there's a bone figure of Fugard Taperlash. And now if I press Ctrl R again, it stops recording. To rerun that macro, I can just say Ctrl P. And now it will just go through. And we made one of dwarves. Let's do Ctrl P again. And we made one of Ravod Perpex placements. We made another one of Ravod Perpex placements. complex basements. And here's one of Zom Prestige papers. Oh, excellent. You'll notice that this one has dashes beside it, and that's because it's slightly better quality than the other ones we've made. So as we get more advanced, we can make better things. Next time, we'll continue our journey to Fence Relief, and hopefully we'll be able to get some equipment for the other companions. Even though Sarah's doing a good job fighting by herself, it's because we've been fighting relatively weak creatures, and she will need help probably in the future if we meet something more nasty. Until then, this has been Uro Uro Niwa. My name is Mike Charlton, and I'll see you next time.